Welcome to the Membership Guys podcast. Kick-ass advice and tips for membership site owners.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 97 of the Membership Guys podcast. I'm your host, Mike Morrison, one half of the Membership Guys, and this is a show where we dispense proven practical tips and advice on growing a successful membership website. This week, we're talking all about how to win back your lapsed or cancelled members. Now, if you've been listening to this show for a while, maybe you're a member over at Membersite Academy, or you read the blog over at themembershipguys.com, you'll know that we talk a lot about the best way, the right way and the wrong way to handle cancellations. So many people treat cancellations as this big, scary, bad thing that must be avoided at all costs. And of course, you want to avoid cancellations, but people often overreact to the whole idea that someone may want to leave their website. And as a result, they end up punishing people who cancel. They end up making the whole process of cancellation an absolute nightmare, getting people to jump through hoops. And in doing so, they burn their bridges with people as they're on their way out of the membership. One of the main reasons that we rally against that mindset and that approach is that we understand that cancellations aren't permanent. People may leave your membership site for a variety of reasons, and many of those reasons will have nothing to do with them being unhappy or discontented with your membership. Sometimes people will just be going through financial difficulties. Sometimes the timing just isn't right, or there's so many other factors and so many other reasons why someone may need to leave your membership, and they're not all permanent. In fact, over at Membersite Academy, we find that about 25% of people who leave our membership ultimately come back, and a big part of the reason for that is how we handle cancellations, and of course the fact that we conduct targeted win-back campaigns. So in this episode, I'm talking a little bit about win-back campaigns and how to actually conduct them, how to approach them. But before we get into that, I just want to say that this episode is brought to you by membersiteacademy.com. Membersite Academy is the leading resource for anyone looking to plan, build, launch, and grow a successful membership website. On top of a library of extensive, in-depth courses, training, and resources, we have an awesome community of hundreds and hundreds of membership site owners sharing tips, supporting each other, and helping to create successful membership businesses. And I don't just say that membersiteacademy.com is awesome because somebody is paying me to say that or because I get some sort of kickback. I say it and I know it because it's our baby. It was built by themembershipguys.com. We are in there. We are helping people, directly feeding back, directly supporting our members day in and day out. So if you're serious about making your membership site a success, you need to head over to membersiteacademy.com and jump right into the community. So when we talk about win-back campaign, we're typically talking about an email sequence. So some sort of autoresponder sequence of 4, 5, 6 different emails, all geared specifically around the target of getting someone to come back and rejoin your membership site. It's not always just an email sequence. You can also get creative and utilize remarketing adverts through platforms like Facebook or through Google Display Network in order to show specifically targeted ads that are only shown to people who are on your win-back list of ex-members. Now, with a win-back campaign, you're typically going to wait till around about the 3 to 6 month mark before you actually try to get those ex-members to come back. You need to give people enough time to realize what they're missing. Enough time to get past the issue that may have caused them to leave in the first place. And it's not just them getting over it. It's also, you need to have enough time to make sure that you're actually remedying some of the issues that might be causing people to leave. So 3 to 6 months is typically a good kind of time space, a good range that you want to give before you start tapping people up with your win-back campaign. Now, your win-back campaign might just be a one-off thing. Perhaps you just make one single attempt to try and get ex-members to come back. You send them a series of 3 or 4 emails, and then you consider them done. You consider all efforts expended after that. Or you can look at ways of having multiple campaigns. Now, you don't want to keep nagging and harassing your ex-members until the end of time, dropping a new campaign on them every few months in the hope that one of those times they're going to find their way back. But you can certainly look at ways of perhaps taking 2 or 3 different angles, 2 or 3 different approaches with staggered campaigns, with multiple staggered campaigns. You could also consider something like an amnesty weekend, where for a specific weekend in the year, you make it so that any ex-members can rejoin the site for a certain price. Now, obviously, when it comes to the automated win-back campaigns, these will be the sort of things where if someone leaves in January, your automation system, so your system like ActiveCampaign or Infusionsoft, what have you, automatically schedules your email sequence 3 months after they actually leave. So it's not a one-off campaign that you're running. It's an automated sequence that just so happens to be scheduled for a much further period down the line. Whereas something like an amnesty weekend is going to be a real-time campaign. It's going to be the sort of thing where everybody on your lapsed members list gets emailed about at the same time. And everybody has the opportunity to come in on a specific weekend, for example. So you might have a weekend or 2-week period. Any ex-members want to rejoin within the next 2 weeks, then you can come back at 50% off. So again, just different angles, different approaches, different sort of hooks to try to get your ex-members to come back to your site. And often, as part of your win-back campaign, what you should be doing is just asking outright, what would it take for you to return? Encourage that dialogue. Encourage people to hit reply on the first email in your win-back email sequence and tell you, what's it going to take to get you back? What could we offer you? What would you like to know has changed? What was the problem? What concern would you have about coming back, and how can we fix it for you? Get them to tell you, because that at least gives you the opportunity to fix it. And if you can fix it, then you're far more likely to get them back than just by offering them a 10 or a 20% discount for returning. Throughout your win-back sequence, you want to make sure that you're letting your ex-members know, first of all, that they're missed. People like to feel valued. They like to feel appreciated and acknowledge the fact you miss having them as a member. You wish they were still a member. You were sad that they went. Let them know that they were missed, that their absence is noticed. But also let them know what they've been missing. If someone's been gone for 3 to 6 months, then chances are you've added a lot to your membership site. Maybe you've added a new feature. Maybe you've had a growth of explosion in members. Now, obviously, with your win-back sequences, even though they're going to be automated, you're going to have to, or you're going to want to update these fairly regularly in order to improve and bring things up to date with what has actually been going on within the last few months. But it's certainly worth doing, because letting people know what they've been missing out on is essentially telling them, here's all this new awesome stuff that is going to be available to you if you come back. And of course, let them know what else they'll miss. So you're telling people, obviously, you were missed. We wish you were back. Here's what you missed out on. So actually, we've got 3 months of awesome stuff that's here ready for you when you come back. But if you don't come back, you're also going to miss out on this other stuff. So that taps into the fear of missing out triggers as well. So those are kind of the 3 core notes that you want to hit through the messages that you're sending as part of your win-back sequence. So in terms of how that would actually fit into an email sequence, just a very basic example is if you were sending a 5-part email sequence, then email 1 could be just a reaching out, wanting to say hello, wanting to get back in touch, hope you've been well, we missed you. So email 1, you're letting your ex-member know that they've been missed. Email 2 is when you're telling them about what they've been missing. It's been so long since you've been here. We've had so many exciting things going on in our membership site. Here's some of the best stuff, or check out this video roundup we put together of some of the best stuff that's happened in the last few months. Email 3, you give them a special offer. You introduce them to some sort of exclusive special offer that is available on a limited time basis if they decide to return. So you've restarted a dialogue with your ex-member. You've whet their appetite by telling them what they've been missing. Now you're telling them if they come back, they can get back in on a special offer. So you're pushing that urgency element of having a time-sensitive special offer that makes it more of a no-brainer decision to come back. So it's a case of if you're ever going to come back, now's the time to do it because we've got a special offer just for you. Email 4 is where you would show them what else they'll miss. So here, that's where you're tapping into the fear of missing out. You're telling them why it's going to be worthwhile them becoming a member again, because not only are they going to get access to all this stuff that's been added since they've gone, but here's all this great stuff that's also going to be added. So it makes sense to come back. And then email 5 is where you close down the offer. And essentially you that's your last ditch. We put in our best efforts. If you ever decide to change your mind in the future, we're just an email away, or you come over, doors always open. So that's a very, very, very basic example of how you may structure your messaging when it comes to your email sequence in order to let your lapsed members know that they've been missed, what they've been missing, and what else they're going to miss out on. Alright guys, that's it from me. Hopefully you found this useful. Hopefully it's given you a little bit of food for thought on how you can win back your lapsed and cancelled members. Let me know what you thought of this episode. Hit me up on Twitter @membershipguys, or pop over to our free Facebook group, talkmemberships.com, or of course, if you are a member at membersiteacademy.com, let us know in the community what you're doing to win your lapsed members back. That's it from me. I'll be back again next week with another episode of the Membership Guys podcast. If you've enjoyed today's episode of the Membership Guys podcast, we invite you to check out the membersiteacademy.com. The Membersite Academy is the essential resource for anyone at any stage of starting, growing, and running a membership website. So whether you're still figuring out what your idea is going to be, or whether your website is already up and running and you're just looking for ways to grow it and attract new members, then the Membersite Academy can help you to get to the next level. With our extensive course library, monthly training, exclusive member-only discounts, perks and tools, and a supportive, active community to help you along the way with feedback, encouragement and advice, the Membersite Academy is the perfect place to be for anyone looking to start, manage and grow a successful membership website. So check it out at membersiteacademy.com.